welcome to Immigrant Bazaar, a weekly podcast for immigrants by immigrants. And as usual, your hosts are myself, Bahram.
Anwar here.
And Shaukat.
Okay, great. And this is one of our episodes for Afterthought. This is Afterthought for the episode number 5. We had about exploring real estate agent career. And it was with Dilara Daminova, one of the top real estate agents in the Northern Virginia, Maryland, and DC area. So I personally liked the episode. It was, I learned a lot about it. It was really great. But before I share my thoughts, I'm going to ask my friends here, what you guys thought about it. So what were your key takeaways from the episode? So whatever, if Anwar, you want to go first, or if Shaukat, you want to go first?
Yeah, I can take the lead. It was, I think it was very informative. For me personally, I found out that personality-wise, I'm probably not a good fit for that career. Although I'm very interested financially, I like the numbers that you shared. But personality-wise, you have to be very patient. You can't expect outcomes right away. So that's not easy for me, to be honest. And considering it, spending your time and effort and taking it as a hobby, I'm not sure. It's not easy. It's really not easy for sure.
What about you, Shaukat?
From my perspective, I would say one thing that it was also as a source of motivation actually for myself. I really feel proud actually. An immigrant who came here like 9-10 years ago. Every time I hear stories like this, it really motivates me. And I feel really proud for these people, and they set a good example for the others, right? So that is maybe one thing that I took away for myself. And the other thing is when I got bought my own house here, so we also do some calculation ourselves, right? Some really doing math. Okay, how much does our realtor maybe benefit from this transaction? Mm-hmm. And when you look behind the scenes, maybe like when you're buying actually, when realtors just get 3% from the seller side. Right. And when they sell, actually, they get 6%, which is more, right? Double. And then I was also doing my own math of you check the profile, right, on Redfin, on Zillow, and you can see how many
houses they sold.
Or have started to buy, right? And you can calculate some amount, and you think that this is really easy, and you can also maybe step in. But when Dilara actually shared her feedback on how, what was the way and how long it took her, what were the challenges in the background, it really, then you say that it's not an easy job, right? Yeah. That's how I felt, yeah.
Yeah, I actually, there were a couple of segments there were a lot of segments that I like, but especially there were two things that I actually like when we were talking with Anwar about, first thing, who cannot do this job, when we talked about the part where who cannot do the job, I personally like the fact that she said, you really have to be, focused on terms of customer, right? You cannot be just focused on money, right? You should not just say, you start a career. Some people, she mentioned, start a career as a side hustle, meaning they have full-time jobs. They may have office jobs, some kind of job, but you have to have that mindset of a customer service, right? If you're the person who cannot deal with a customer being, providing service to the customer, don't get into this, because it's really something important, And second thing she mentioned was importance of having that, very, not easygoing, but at the same time, somebody that you should not be handle the stress well. This job requires a lot of conversations, a lot of calls here, there, managing your time and not being, if you're under stress, you give up, you're not going to do well in this job because this job requires you to be alert, to be focused, to be listening well to your customers, both sides, whether it's a buyer or seller. So that was one thing. And the other thing I like was the fact that, we asked about, what did you think about how your immigrant background helped? She actually honestly said it did not help much, especially, it did not help much, I understand, but at the same time, actually, her immigrant background, knowing she was not native in the terms of language here, like all of us are not native here, but she overcame that and became very comfortable with the fact that, hey, I can do this myself, even though they think I'm not able to speak well English, I can do this well. So it's actually good for all of us, not necessarily for this particular job, for being a real estate agent, but in general, when you have something you overcome, you can prove yourself, you can do this well. And that's what I actually like when she said it was not easy at the beginning. People would say, no, you may not be able to do that, but of course you can do that, and you do it well. So that was
I think it basically touches what Shaukat mentioned, being inspired, like being proud of someone who's overcoming such serious difficulties. If you think about it, the handicap of not being born here, not having your network, we grew up in other countries. It's really not easy. One of the things that I thought would make it very difficult for me, at some point, she said, well, you have to realize that you're not married to these people. You deal with them for 2 months. You have to deal with them well, with your customers, but you shouldn't be emotionally invested in them, because you come across with divorces and other things. Like, I put myself in a situation like that. I don't think I would be a very good, customer, how can I say, customer-facing person in a situation like
right?
that. It's not situations that I enjoy being in. I'm
So,
a technical
do you
person.
like the money part, right? Do you like the money part? If you
That
do
part
well,
is, oh boy. That part was so she. I think she mentioned for a regular, like 5-6 closings per year, that would amount to 70-80K per year, right? In terms of like the income.
Yeah. It depends, of course, what region of the country you buy the house.
Which region? Yeah. There's a lot of
Maryland, Virginia.
Yeah, prices. Yeah. But then if she's closing 70 this year, 90, those are big numbers. Those are very impressive numbers.
Well, we're happy for her. And by the way, if Dilara is listening, we're happy. We told her in the meeting, in the episode, and with him, we're really happy for. We were very privileged to have her. We were not sure if she would agree to join us, but we're very happy to have her, and she was really humble person to kind of speak with in terms of sharing with things she knows, sharing things that people should not do in this job. So those were
that's what I appreciated the most. She was very honest, because it's very easy to come and tell people, hey, I have a great job, this is great, everything is smooth, and you kind of ride the wave of being successful. She wasn't like that at all. She was very honest about how brutal it can be. Like, I think she didn't have a closing for 1 year. So I just pictured on week. What is it?
That requires a lot of patience, in fact, right?
Yeah.
That was
I just pictured
something really interesting.
On weekends, you show houses for 1 year.
You don't get anything.
And you don't get anything. I would go crazy. I think that's why.
First year only 1 transaction, second year only 2 transactions.
Something like
if
that.
If I were her, I would leave the job. I know.
Her case was a little different. We're not going to spoil this to listeners who want to watch fully, but her case was a little different in terms of her husband was primarily source of their income in terms of feeding family and all this stuff. But she was doing it as more the hobby because she had some job also, but she liked it, and she was saying, of course, first it was like paying off those bills that she had to, rent the, space in the real estate agency.
Yeah. Licensing fees and things like that.
Yeah. But again, we don't want to talk all about, whole about episode. We're gonna let the listeners enjoy this. So whoever hasn't watched that, please go ahead and watch the episode. You're gonna like it. It's aspiring, to be honest. Both men and women in this country and can do that job well. So not necessarily just because 3 of us are talking, it's not just for men. So anybody can do this job well. You just have to be customer centric and focused and motivated to do this. So
and with some life experience, as she mentioned, if you're very young, you may not know how to talk to people, you may not have enough life experience, basically. So she was saying that the more life experience you have, the better you do at this job. And the fact that it may not fit me, for example, personally, it doesn't mean that it wouldn't fit others. So our listeners, if you think that you can take a hobby for 4 or 5 years and don't chase the money that much initially and be okay with that and be patient for like 10 years as she has been, then you can be very, very successful. And it's very inspiring indeed.
Yeah, and just a closing comment for those who who haven't been with us for a while. We have Facebook pages, we have Instagram page, all of them Immigrant Bazaar, and we also have email address at immigrantbazaar@gmail.com. So continue to share us with your friends, and comment, provide any feedbacks, anything you would like to talk us with, in terms of, us inviting hosts. So our YouTube channel is out there available. People leaving comments, which is we are very gracious, thankful for those comments. Those comments that really help us to do well. I mean, obviously we're new here, so we appreciate everybody, giving us thumbs up and thumbs down to it, because we want to learn something as well. So we like it both ways. So we appreciate it. Anything else you guys want to at the end?
Yeah, what I could say is, we're very thankful to our subscribers and our viewers so far. I think we've mentioned it before, we're learning. We hope that this turns into something useful, kind of a useful platform, resource for immigrants. So please don't be shy of commenting, suggesting, criticizing. We take it very well. No problems there. So thanks a lot. And please do subscribe and let us know what kind of videos you want to see in the future.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great day, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Bye, all.